This is a 1-acre food plot that I plant for deer, and late last summer I planted it into brassicas, which is sugar beets, turnips, radishes, and so forth. The deer love it. You can tell that they've just mowed it off, but it's also a place that pocket gophers love, and for some reason, I suppose it's because they love the underground tubers of these particular plants, but it's just like a magnet for pocket gophers, and it's a year-long process to keep the pocket gophers trapped out of these food plots. So I wanted to show you a little bit about how I trap these pocket gophers. And it's spring now, the frost has just gone out of the ground, and that's the time of the year when the pocket gophers really get to work, and they're in the food plot here. There's a couple of them in here that I didn't get last fall, and so I'm going to try to trap them right now. And you might think that seeing all of these gopher mounds that there's a lot of gophers in here, but typically one gopher will have, it looks like a colony of mounds, but it's usually just one gopher. And so when I decide which mounds I'm going to trap, I normally just go through one day and put a footprint in all of the mounds, and I come back the next day and there'll be a couple on the outskirts of the area typically that are new, and those are the ones you want to trap because those are the ones that are the most active. Now I use two different kinds of traps here. The old number 0 long spring is one trap that works well. There's trade-offs of each of these different kinds of traps. This particular trap I like because it's got a pretty high catch percentage. You typically will find the gopher in the trap with both front feet in the trap, just sitting there waiting for you. The disadvantage of this, of course, is then that you got to kill the gopher. With these type of clutch type traps, they're really easy to set. They just set like that. The gopher goes in here, trips a trigger, and it kills them instantly. So that's the advantage of this, is that they're killed instantly, but they don't have quite as high as catch rate. They have a pretty high miss rate actually, and you know, gophers are coming up these tunnels typically pushing a big wad of dirt in front of them, and it's pretty common to have fired traps or traps that just get missed with this type of trap. So each of these two different types of traps are, you know, they have trade-offs. I use them both. But once you find a gopher mound that you're going to trap, once you get good at it, it's pretty easy to find where the hole is in this mound, and typically the hole is near the edge because what they're doing is they're pushing this dirt up out of their tunnel, and so it's pretty easy to find the hole. It's normally right near the edge, and I think it's right here, right there. Now when you feel down in here, you go down in probably about a foot normally, and there's almost always a V. This is always a fork. They're making a tunnel, they push up, and then they go on with their tunnel. So what I like to do is get it all cleaned out, then set the trap. I like to set the trap right at the V. And then of course the reason for a stake is simply in case they aren't dead, that they can't pull the trap down way down into the tunnel. And then I'll just use a board to cover it up, seal up the edges. That's all there is to it. That's one down. Well, it's been raining hard all night, but I don't think that'll stop the gopher. Here, I got one here. Perfect. That's one less gopher to eat the turnips, radishes, and forage rape in my food plot. So as you can see, it's an important part of protecting your investment in your food plot, is catching these pocket gophers, and it is a chance to get out in the spring and summer, and it's kind of fun too.